What's going on, everyone? It's Worth here, back at it with another video. And look, we have already made Vex to be one of the most overpowered, busted, beautiful sirens in the end game. Theoretically, link in the description. Go check that build out. I'll wait for you here. See you in a minute. But today we're gonna look at the leveling guide that you will want to see. Now, exactly because of that, do not go anywhere. Subscribe to the channel and let's get right into it. Now, what do I mean when I say that you will want to see this? And look, I'll keep it a buck with you. Today, there is about 10, 15, 20 hours of Borderlands 4 footage circulating, everything. And I see a couple of options. One, everyone that's playing the game right now is bad at the game. Unlikely. Two, they don't have access to any good gear. Or three, the dangers of Kairos do tend to chunk a little bit harder than how we would imagine it. Now, that is my assumption. And because I'm picking the latter, what I want from my build and my leveling build to be OP all along the way. I want to make sure that nothing is on my back that I don't want it to be, and my porch is clean, and I am generally safe, and I can just cruise to the finish line of that beautiful endgame with ease. Now, in my mind, for Vex, that translates to pet build. There are two options, of course. One is the Spectres and the Reapers with Deadringer, and the other one is Face Familiar with our good old friend Trouble, and that's what I'm picking. Now, why am I picking Trouble? And that's a very good question, and I can give you one very simple reason, and let me know in the comments if you agree with this or not, so check this out. The reason why I'm going with Trouble is because I don't want my own personal fuck-up with placement of the minions and the clones to reduce my DPS. I don't want to have issues with line of sight. I don't want to have issues with any kind of zoning out or with phasing out and getting out of range and then toss my DPS reducing. Trouble is always going to be by my side, maiming and just messing everyone up. And that I like. Now, caveat number two, and that one is important. I have been transparent about this. I have never played Borderlands 4. So everything I say, take it with a pinch of salt, because I could be full of shit. Now, the way that I make my builds, and the reason why I make them the way it is because I have certain assumptions in what I expect from the game. So my importance or perceived importance lies in survivability, making sure that I don't die, making sure that Trouble doesn't die in this scenario, and generally having a synergistic flow in one direction, not in a mix. However, comes to the true actual game itself, it could be that the dangers are not as bad, it could be that we need more regen, it could be that we need more DPS. All of that is a simplistic choice once you know your personal predicament. So pay attention to that. Let's dive in. Now, what we're gonna take first, and say it with me, right? Movement speed. You know my spiel. If you've seen the other videos, I love zooming. This one gives me damage reduction and movement speed. I take it every day. The next one, Blood is Magic, a very nice flat damage boost to Trouble because that is our action skill if we are on full health. Hopefully we're going to be able to stay that way. Then what we're going to do is, we're going to take Blink Strike, and Blink Strike is going to be our initial filler augments until we get to Hexus Nexus. In my experience, all these big chunk of damage that we get access to are supplying a power spike, and they're going to be very strong when we get them, and they're going to fall off very sharply once the enemies start having more health. But this one allows us to get access to Yalan Bay's active commanding ability, giving us gun damage. So we get a very, very big boost because not only our gun damage is going to get a boost with whatever weapon we're using, but it's also going to be a flat damage that we can use on all the enemies every 25 seconds. Now, there is a couple of other points that we have to spend, so we're going to get Grave Command and we're going to get Overheal. Overheal gives us an Overshield and it gives health regeneration to Trouble. As you can see, Yalan Bay gives it a health capacity. Overheal gives us health regen. We're sustaining Trouble already. Grave Command is going to be very useful if my assumption is correct, that the cooldown is annoying. Not for Blink Strike, because we're going to replace it with Hexus Nexus, and that cooldown is 45 seconds. It could be that the 45 second is not an issue at all, and in that case, Grave Commands reduces, the value of it gets reduced, and you can pick something else, but I'm going to go with this because I like the idea of being able to use my gameplay loop, which one we'll get to in a second. Now we're gonna have 10 points that we need to spend, and I'm gonna go all out ordinance on that because of the synergies that they provide. First one is Blessed Right, second one is Blasted Fiend. The reason why I chuck an aid, not only do I get fire rate and an overshield, but also the damage that I do with that nade directly increases the damage of trouble. Now with the capstone, trouble bubble, we're gonna give our little cat an ever burning shield of damage, right? So imagine this. Close your eyes. Imagine that you're in the world of Kairos and you send Trouble into the baddest motherfucker out there. Trouble lunges in. The singularity sucks all the other mobs. You chuck a nade. Everything explodes. The damage boosts Trouble and is just slashing the living crap out of the enemies, and with your extended damage, you're melting everything. And then you do it again because the cooldown is up early enough. It sounds beautiful. But we have a few more points to spend, so we're going to hop over to Dead Ringer, and the reason why Dead Ringer is because it gives us minion damage, and Trouble is a minion as per the text says so. So first we're going to get Health Regen, Sanguine Fiends, then we're going to get Fan Inscription, and the reason why I take Fan Inscription is because it gives maximum health capacity, of course, and it boosts Trouble. Now, I could take something like a Cold Iron, but as I said, I'm expecting my damage spikes to come from weapons because it is Borderlands and I should be showered in loot, beautifully guns everywhere, right? So I don't want to have problems when I have a gun that I cannot upgrade. I can't see that as a scenario. So what I do see as a scenario though, is that Trouble is falling down in the damage. So I need to make sure that I raise up the damage floor so that it always stays relevant. That's why Fan Inscriptions. Then, of course, Grave Fiends, flat damage on a kill scale, stacking buff, beautiful. And then we're going to get to Blight Attunement. Now, this one, don't crucify me in the comments, but I simply like how it sounds. I love it how it sounds, in fact. A kill skill that when we kill something with a corrosive, we're going to get a Haunting Remnant minion moving around, probably very slowly, but moving around and then doing corrosive damage every single time it slaps someone. And I like the sound of that. And we need 5 points somewhere anyway because I want to get Gasturbate. And yes, I can hear it too. Sounds exactly what your mom told you as a teenager to never do while she's at home. But the name aside, this one is the absolute get out of jail free card. Every 2 minutes when you dodge, you become invisible for either 8 seconds or until you shoot. This one allows you to reposition freely. This weaved in together with the taunts, you should have a very good chance of survival at any encounter. But what do you think about this build? Are you going to give it a go? Do you think that this is nonsense? Do you think that this should actually work pretty nicely now that I've explained it so detailedly? And because of that explanation, like the video if you liked, subscribe if you haven't, because, you know, a Borderlands 4 is just about to come out and I ain't ever going to stop bringing content. So see you in the next one. Peace.